What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to talk about why on earth NIO may explode tomorrow, why NIO is going to most likely open and make a very explosive move to the upside, but I do see it coming down temporarily as Jerome Powell starts speaking, followed by a nice rebound, in my opinion, as NIO is going to close pretty green for tomorrow, in my opinion. So I'm going to talk about the big deal that's almost done, why this is huge for NIO, and also some big pieces of news coming out for NIO as well. Before I break anything down about NIO and why I think it's going to make a nice move, I got to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 12 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. It's a limited time offer. Offer ends in 5 days. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO was up 6.41% for the day. It was up even higher into this open. Very, very nice move after the big news came out. And I want to talk about that just for you guys real quick. So just to inform you though, we do have something that may shake the market a bit tomorrow. That's Jerome Powell speaking. But if we just don't worry too much about that and just look at the huge news, this is going to cause NIO to make a nice move tomorrow, in my opinion. So Beijing it's near the end of a deal, closing a big deal to let the US inspect Chinese company records in Hong Kong. Now, why is this so big? Why on earth are so many Chinese companies kind of rallying off this news, whether it's Li Auto, Xpeng, Alibaba, a bunch of them, and NIO as well? Well, there is a lot of talk out there, right? Now, a lot of big companies out there in China could get delisted. They're faking results, things like that. And for NIO in particular, lots of short sellers came out and said NIO's results are altered. They're not real. They're manipulating the data to make it look good. Well, now the US and China are closing a good agreement where they're going to allow American accounting regulators to travel to Hong Kong to inspect auditing records of US Chinese companies. So they're going to allow for auditing. This is good because the numbers won't be fake. This also means that we're seeing some more improvements to the situation between these countries. People love that. It's very good for these companies and it decreases the probability of there being delisting. So it's a very good thing that we've seen after so much tension, after so many things that were coming out from the news. Finally, something good is coming. NIO's already rallying off of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing in the 21s very soon. That's obviously my target. I don't want to guarantee any particular numbers because nothing in the market's guaranteed, but I do think NIO is going to push to the upside again. So one of the things I did see is there have been a lot of orders when it comes to its options flow in the 21 strike price for call options. So lots of big institutions are bullish on NIO. They're trying to make as much money as they can off of it. They're buying NIO shares. They're buying the calls. They're pushing it up. I think it's going to push up for tomorrow. That's my honest opinion. Now, is it going to be just a perfect rocket to the absolute moon? The answer is no. There is going to be a fluctuation starting, in my opinion, at 9:45 a.m. because Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. If you don't know who he is, he's the Fed chairman. When he speaks, the market moves. And people are going to be very, I would say, some people are concerned, other people aren't as concerned. But basically, he's speaking on future policies of the Fed because this month, we didn't necessarily have an FOMC meeting. And we have it for next month. So people are concerned, is the Fed going to be super hawkish? What are they going to do? And many reports are saying that the Jerome Powell is not likely to tell investors what they want to hear. So there is some concern about that. It could cause a bit of a drop in the markets afterwards. It really depends on what he says. I can't really predict exactly what he's going to say, but he has a tendency of trying his best to hold the market to the upside, not causing it to drop too hard. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. I would like to be optimistic. But besides that, my warning for everyone would be at 9:45 a.m., right before the guy starts talking, the market's going to make a big move to the upside. The first 15 minutes are going to be crazy, in my opinion. Huge squeeze-like move. I think NIO is going to explode. But then after, and this is what I'm talking about, the explosion, right? First 15 minutes. Let's see if I can catch it. Just like this. And NIO might just rally like super hard in a short period of time like this to about 21.5 if it's super bullish, maybe a little lower, 21 I would say. And then that's a big move to the upside. It might come down, start to try to test 20.8. Powell starts speaking, the market's going to drop, so NIO is going to come maybe down to like 20.5. If Powell doesn't say anything too bad, which I doubt he will, I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to be more optimistic, guys. NIO is going to push up again, all the way up again, and this thing might just rally and rally and rally into the maybe the low 21s, maybe 21.25. I wouldn't be surprised if NIO gets a close around there. It pushes up, and I think we're going to see some action between 20.8 and 21. I really believe it's going to happen. I think NIO is going to have a nice close for tomorrow. And I am anticipating a move kind of like this, a big open, a bit of a drop when Powell speaks, then followed by a big, big, big move to the upside. So in case I am incorrect, right? Because not the market isn't always going to be super predictable. It's not always perfect, but I do think it's very likely to see a move like this though. Here's what you need to be prepared for. NIO has support at 20. It's not super strong. 19.5, 19, 18.75, and then 18.5. Remember those zones. If it pushes to the upside, 20.2 is going to be resistance. You can see right here it was actually struggling to hold above 20.2. If we break that, then 20.8 is where this thing could head to. We break past that, it could go to 21.25, which is not as strong resistance, or as high as 20.5. So we may need an extra day to actually get that high, but we still could. Maybe it goes all the way up to 21.5. We break that, then 22 is a possibility. But until then, I see a move kind of like this. Nice push into open, a bit of a drop. And we could actually drop lower if Powell mentions something very bad. So be prepared for that. But I think it's more probable for him to actually not say anything. We just hold up pretty well, and the market remains okay. NIO holds its green. And I do think it's going to be very volatile. With that said, if we look at data, as far as NIO goes, things are looking all right. Very correlated with SPY. I know people talk about how, oh, why are you always talking about the SPY? Well, here's what you guys are going to notice. Look at how NIO and SPY were dropping together. They pushed up together. NIO started dropping a little bit early, and they actually respected these downtrends together. Then when SPY pushed up a bit, NIO actually started pushing up a little bit earlier. It came down a bit. SPY started to actually push up. So NIO right here curled up. It held. It came down just as SPY was coming down. And look at the very end. We have this loop here. See how the SPY is like curling up? Look at NIO. It's also curling up. So they tend to run very similarly. Like I said, NIO tends to actually do all right. And as far as SPY goes, what I'm seeing from SPY is huge rally. It's going to test 420 in my opinion. Could it fill this whole gap? Maybe, but I do see it at the very least going up around the 420 range. SPY is looking a lot stronger for just open alone. Could it dump after? I'm not 100% sure. It depends on Jerome Powell. But as of right now, it's showing some strength, and I do think it's going to transcend itself into NIO. As far as the news goes, NIO is doing a lot better. There's been a lot of talk about these new packages and these new changes that are coming out. I'm actually excited about these new changes for NIO and its future. A lot of other EVs are going to do very well in China as well. And the last thing I want to talk about is this news right here. NIO has reminded us that EV sales in China are forecasted to hit a record 6 million this year as demand for cleaner cars surges. So we're seeing a lot of people out there who are bullish on NIO, they're bullish on the market, and we are seeing better ties now between the US and China than before. Now, am I saying it's perfect? No. But there are improvements, and I really think this could actually improve NIO's situation, and so on and so forth. As far as NIO looks from a technical standpoint, if I hide all drawings, you're going to notice something very interesting right here. So we got a big flip already. Let's use the daily chart. Check this out. NIO was basically downtrending. I mentioned this, trading back and forth. We had lots of bearish momentum coming down, and we're starting to almost get this crossover right here. We're starting to show that reversal sign. It actually really confirmed right now, today, guys. That's when it really started. So RSI is picking up. We're about to get another cross between the MACD and the 9-day moving average, which would be like the signal line. Big improvement, guys. Very, very nice improvement. I want to see that. I want to see this crossover. I want to see NIO continue. 21 looks like it's imminent. With that said and done, thank you all for listening. Please have an absolutely fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.